talking about the Middle East war, the federal government has come out to say there is no distress call yet from Nigerians. But is there another distress call, especially talking oil prices? Because there's been speculations that with the war ongoing, especially in Iran, Israel, and maybe the US as well, there's a chance that the prices will skyrocket. Meanwhile, another newspaper has it this way: crude oil price hits roof. Aftermath of United States, Iran, Israel war. That's exactly one of the conversations we're having right on this segment of newspaper headlines and analysis this morning. We'll get into the print, we'll get our notices into as many as we can this morning. So many stories making the rounds across the newspapers this morning. Of interest is one of the 4 stories I'll pick this morning, and that's on Vanguard newspaper this morning. The headline reads, "No distress calls yet from Nigerians in Iran." That's what the federal government is saying this morning. That's about the Middle East war, that we have not heard anything yet. Of course, we've seen cases where the Chinese government came out to say, yes, there's an issue because some of their members or citizens were killed during the war as well. While we've seen South African President Ramaphosa as well making a claim to say, you know what, we don't need this at this point because, of course, it's going to affect everybody. Whatever goes into, like you say, it's a system, right? Whatever happens to A happens to B. Whatever happens to the head happens to the body, right? So it's a collective and concerted unit of systems working together. So we have to say, perhaps we say that we expect that war would subside and peace can reign across the world. Meanwhile, other stories still on the Vanguard newspaper reads, Dangote refinery increases petrol price to 874 per litre. That's the story on page 16 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Benin attack is also on the print. It's making the bold caption saying, how DSS nabbed suspect over threats to Peter Obi. Meanwhile, federal government begins implementation of Executive Order 9 on oil gas revenues, and that's one of the stories we've just taken previously. Meanwhile, governors back Tinubu on direct oil revenue remittance to Federation account. That's also about the Executive 9 order on oil and gas exploration. That's about that on that story. Meanwhile, we'll flip to the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Daily Sun has something about business and commerce this morning. It's talking crude oil price hits roof. That's the aftermath of the US-Iran war, as you can see right on the front page. Something of interest to many Nigerians now. Sit at home Soludo reopens Nkwo and Nnewi short Ihiala market. That's also something to be happy about, especially talking about that region as we have it also developing. PDP not holding congresses. That's coming from Turaki as well. National Police Council ratifies DC's appointment as acting IG. Meanwhile, hoodlums invade into community, set ablaze oil firms' equipment. That's another story to check out this morning. One dead, 12 rescued from sank Nigerian tugboats in South Africa. Unfortunately, this morning we have so many stories to go around, but we have to get into the conversation with Oluwole Olusham this morning, joining us this morning. Good to have you in the studio. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
I think when I raised the conversation of the aftermath of the United States war with Iran, with Israel, I think it caught your interest because I saw your nod. So I was going to start with that story because a lot of people are asking, so what's the implication for every other state, every other country in the continent of Africa, and perhaps the global scene? How does this reflect on the people? But I mean, there are different angles. Some people have said, Khamenei is somebody that's not a good person. Others have said, you know what, he's doing good. And there's been a lot of controversies, even in the country, where some people are protesting against him, while some people are protesting that he was killed. We've seen a lot of this. But this is also maybe the bigger implication for the Nigerian state now is what we should be concerned about. There's a speculation that the prices of oil will skyrocket. How do you think this will play out?
No. Thanks for taking me there. You said I was nodding when you were actually talking about the Iran.
Perhaps you have somebody in Iran.
No, I don't. But seriously, the issue of oil in Nigeria, you should expect it. You should expect it. And yesterday I was trying to tell some people that, this war is just a matter of ideology. Asking me, going by my own thinking or ideologies or knowledge, Iran has not done much to warrant such an attack. Because what Trump was actually telling us is that weapon of mass destruction, we are talking about nuclear weapons and other stuff. Now, not only Iran does that, Israel does. Japan, South Korea, North Korea, Germany, Russia, China, everybody has their own arsenal of, what do you call it, these weapons. Why picking out on Iran? Don't let us forget the idea that this same US captured or arrested the president of Venezuela. Over what? Underneath, the idea of oil. Now it's Iran. Underneath, on the peripheral fields, it is the nuclear weapon. What about the oil? Where China is the biggest importer of Iran's oil, energy.
Okay, so
and what about the Strait of Hormuz?
Sorry to cut you a bit. I just want to be sure. I want to clarify what you're trying to say. We've seen the case, like you've mentioned, that it seems Donald Trump is attacking oil-producing states. Perhaps
to me,
maybe that's exactly how you're seeing it.
That's what I'm saying.
But how does this reflect on Nigeria? Is that maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you trying to say that there's a chance that Trump is interested in Nigeria because we understand how he's trying to work out the bilateral relations between the two countries, helping sending troops into Nigeria? Do you think he's trying to do the same for Nigeria?
He will do the same. He will do the same. So if we are lucky enough, we can work things out. Mind you, we are not trading in dollars with our oil anymore. The dollar has been demystified when it comes to trading now, worldwide, concerning oil. So, to me, this the prices of oil in Nigeria, don't blame Dangote if he says it's hiking price. It might go higher than that. With this happening with the Strait of Hormuz right now, with the war going on, with the attacks and everything on Iran, definitely it will affect import and export. It will. Checking, going through the Middle East air travel pattern, almost every airport has been shut down.
But let's do a bit of solutions journalism now. For Nigeria, the federal government came out to say there's no imminent threats on any Nigerian's life yet. But what do you think Nigeria can do? Talking about oil, one. Talking about safety, the safety of Nigerians. Do you think the Nigerian government should swing into action to do something constructively?
You know that most of the airports are shut down now. So going into Iran, trying to get our people out, might be a little bit difficult. To me, with air travel right now. Like you said, like it was said or written or reported that no imminent threat from any of our citizens right there. Yesterday I was going through one of these social media platforms and a Nigerian lady, was actually filming a building going up in flames and in smoke, and she was like, oh, nothing.
She was catching cruise, like they say,
Nigerian cruise. So, to them, once the bullet is not eating right through your ears, nothing. So, like it was rightly reported, we don't have any imminent threat yet coming to our people. Or they call it, they shot Lagbaja or Tamedu last week by my side. It's not a grand war yet. So some things can still be avoided. So major facilities are being targeted. It's not a grand war yet. I always tell people, one of my students was saying yesterday, sir, it's Third World War is coming into play. Who told you? Who told you? This is still a form of an ideology war. So now, if we are saying, okay, let's analyze this. Buildings and facilities are being targeted. You might be crossing the crossfire. You might be caught in the crossfire. Maybe you are in that building, working as a government staff or something. Facilities that are major ones due to different governments. Do you understand? Are being blown up. But not eating a mall, not eating this, or sending in troops, on ground troops to now start killing people. No, it doesn't reach that. But we pray it doesn't escalate into something like that.
I think it's of interest to me that you are also an aviation expert, and it makes sense to understand how this plays out, especially when it comes to maybe extraditing Nigerians from, and all of that. But I'm looking at it in a wider scope, because there was a protest yesterday in Lagos about the Shiite movement, especially people protesting against the death of Khamenei. And we understand the very fragile structure that has been established in the bilateral system between the Nigerian government and the US. Before the bilateral arrangement, there were insinuations and there were name calling. There were allegations. In fact, you've seen the case of Christian genocide also on the table of discourse. So there was that before this bilateral arrangement. Now, the protest in Lagos, the protest in some northern parts of the country, Nigeria, especially by the Muslim community and some of the people that choose to do that as well. Do you think this can be like an affront to the U.S. government? Because the U.S. is actively involved in the death of Khamenei. Do you think this is passing an information that might not be desired by this present administration?
Firstly, in Nigeria, there are times we concern ourselves with what doesn't concern us. And there are people who will take advantage of any situation to their own advantage. Asking me now, if you kill the Pope, sorry, wrong use of words. If the Pope kaput or something happened and was mine to go out to the street, placard. The Pope resides in the Vatican City. Whatever is his allegiance or business with some other people that must have caused that, how does it affect me or my faith? The people going out on the streets of Lagos for Khamenei, how truthful have they been to the beliefs of Khamenei? You want to come to me as a communist? What do you know about Karl Marx or Marxism? You want to talk about democracy? What do you know about it? You want to come to me as an atheist, and you are asking, and you are telling me, thank God I'm an atheist. Look at your phrase. What has God got to do in your statement? Then you don't know what you are doing. Do you get it?
So you think the protest is just a jamboree, or at best a charade?
It's not. I can't even use the word charade. Useless.
All right, we have to spread our tentacles very quickly for want of time. ICPC has listed again documents and devices seized from El-Rufai's Abuja home. This conversation is on the table. Many persons have divided opinions as well. Some are saying it was an unlawful breaking in, but we've actually talked about this in a lot of ways. But I just want to get your views on this. What do you make of all of this issue? How do you think it's
unlawful breaking in to acquire evidence? Here in Nigeria, we use a lot of terminologies and words to suit us.
But sorry. Yesterday too, maybe I will explain why I'm saying this. Yesterday, Bello Muhammad the son
son
of El-Rufai,
El-Rufai,
came out
yeah.
to say that his father's detention is unlawful as well. There are a lot of claims about, when they said they got some of the things they got, his wife came out to say that was not true, that she can't tell where they got whatever they said they got, so that she's not sure. So there's a plan that, there's an allegation that maybe this could be political. But I just want to get your comprehensive thought on this.
It's just unfortunate that we are heading towards the political timetable or whatever. That's why we are trying to politicize what has happened. You don't come out and tell the government that you've actually bugged their security agency or the state security
system.
agent and other stuff. You don't do that. In Russia, the KGB will kill you. They'll snuff you out. The CIA might still be a little bit literal. The MI5 won't toy with that. The Mossad, every one of them. You don't come out and say that. Who in this world will come out and say that?
Malam Nasir El-Rufai.
Then he's facing what? That is it.
So you think it's not political? It's
not. Nobody should come and tell me that is political.
Because it's one of the voices speaking against this administration. That's why a lot of people are saying that.
Then that is the more reason we should see him as a double agent. If I'm going to go by the way of espionage and counter-espionage, the Frederick Forsyth, the deceiver and everything, there's something we call the Potemkin ideology. This is what you are portraying, and that is what who you really are. Kaduna, what happened when you were the governor? And there were lots of killings going on in Kaduna. And our security couldn't do anything about it. Are you not trying to tell? We don't need a soothsayer or a scientific approach or mathematical resolution to this. When you were the governor, insecurity in your state, we knew what happened. It was compromised. Now you are telling us you have something, you've actually done something to compromise the intelligence of our people here, and you think it's political? If we are trying to deal with you, the Russians they will tell you it's for the motherland, and they'll put a bullet through your navel. That's what they will do. They won't go to court. Here in Nigeria, we always go to court for everything. In some saner climes, like Russia, they don't frown at this. They frown at this, they don't joke with it. They won't even talk about it. Just a sniper through the window.
Wow. That's a bold point. But of course, for one of time, we might need to round up this session. Thank you so much, Oluwole, this morning for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, we now switch focus to the big story and the big conversation with Samson Balogun. But I will be shortly after this break. Stay with us.